Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Always glad to have my friend Brendan Neef here in our studios. He is with a great company called Victory Transportation Systems. That's victorytrucks.com. You know, and he's really, in my opinion, he's a thought leader, and it's interesting to watch him because he's got a company that's been in the grow for quite some time now, and we kind of get to grow with your company. You know, we get to learn from your experiences and the things you're doing. And in my humble opinion, businesses really only thrive with a lot of external help, you know, from coaching and being teachable and that type of things. And those are the things that I've always been interested in when it comes to engaging with you. You're very involved in making sure your business, and really yourself from a business perspective, can be the best person you could possibly be.
Sure. I mean, we don't know all the answers, and if you want to grow and scale a business, as you get to certain levels, you might not have had that exposure or experience, so getting outside coaching to come help you and some of your key leaders of your leadership team, in our view, pays huge dividends, and so far has worked really well with us. How long have you had a coach? Well, for a little while, we were using the Rockefeller Habits, and we used a coach out in Nashville, Tennessee, for a couple of years, and really got into the regular occurring quarterly planning and getting everybody on the same page. And then towards the end of last year, we started working with the CEO coach from CEO Coaching International named Sheldon Harrison. He's got a lot of experience. He's grown a couple of business to 1 to 300 million and 1 to 500 million. And so he has a lot of vast experiences on different levels, how to evolve as a leader, how to evolve as managing the company as it grows and scales, and getting people and helping us get people in the right roles and responsible for certain parts of the company where I'm responsible for another part of the company, and getting into moving towards a professional organization. So that's worked really well for us. Yeah. And my understanding, you know, and good coaching isn't cheap. I mean, you pay a lot to make sure you get this kind of work done. It's definitely a price you put out there, but a price you pay for, but I think so far the return on investment thus far, we can see it's going to be paid huge dividends and be well worth the money we're spending. You already seeing it? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and what you did is I know with the advice of Coaching International, is you hired yourself a true CSO. You know, rather than a sales manager, right. A true CSO. Sure. Kind of differentiate that for the audience. What's the difference between the two? Well, the gentleman we hired's been in transportation and logistics for 20-plus years. He's gone through numerous types of training programs, knows how to bring in your sales team and do in-house training. That you could potentially, if you went and put your sales team, you'd hire people to come in and do it. He can do all that. He's got different different technique levels that you don't normally see in normal sales managers, that people think outside the box versus just the normal go in, see what's on the wall, find some commonalities. You know, he gives you the right questions to ask and how to respond to certain objectives, and people saying, well, you know, maybe we don't need your services right now. So it's been a huge difference just in the short time we've been working together. Right. One of the big things that you just described, I think, really well is that, you know, with the sales manager isn't the chief hiring officer, you know, for a sales team. He kind of gets what he gets, and he kind of works with them, and there's not necessarily a lot of belief on the part of the CEO that the sales manager can even hire, you know, those kind of people. But a lot of this responsibility falls on the CSO. And I think that makes for a better selling culture, don't you? Oh, yeah, of course. And he bring in his team, he can make his team better, and he can get them to the level that will help you really scale the business. And that's what our plan is between now and the next 3 to 5 years, is to really scale the business. Well, talk about 2016. What is the plan in there? What's the objectives? Right now, you know, the objective is to figure out this challenging. It seems like it's starting off a little challenging economic time. So navigating through that, and then just working hard on some different segments of the transportation industry. For us, we're going to really concentrate on the hazmat business. We feel that's a good little niche there. Plus, a lot of our competitors maybe can't jump into the hazmat arena due to safety. And so our safety is in a good spot and a top priority for us. that'll allow us to maybe go after some business where some of our competitors may not can go after. So that gives us a little bit of a niche market we want to concentrate on for 2016 that we think will really give us a competitive advantage.
Do you think that hazmat market is the niche?
Oh, I think it's a niche. It's not everybody can do it. It's you got to have some great safety in place. You got to have great safety scores now to be able to jump into the hazmat arena. So we think it can give us a little bit of a competitive advantage and not be as concentrated as a market as where some of our other competitors are right now. So
how do you differentiate yourself in that particular arena?
Which arena? The safety?
The hazmat.
Well, to get in the hazmat, you got to have good safety scores. And so that's number one. And then as you get involved and start doing more hazmat and get more exposure, you've got to really have your ducks in a row from the operations team's got to be hazmat certified. They got to know what we're hauling. They got to make sure we're getting the right paperwork and hauling materials. We got to make sure that we're securing the freight properly. We got to make sure that we're not hauling a class of hazmat that we're not able to carry, so you don't get any fines or things like that. And then you got to get your drivers trained and well up to speed on paperwork, so it becomes more paying attention to detail. It becomes more administrative than maybe doing regular freight.
Yeah.
So having some good training in place for your team and the drivers as well is huge.
Yep. And so you started off your year. You told me in December that you spent a lot of the year wrapping up, kind of assessing what you liked about that year and how you like to make things different. What are some of your observations about 2015 and how you want 2016 to look different? And got about a minute left.
Well, we definitely want to see some growth. We want to figure out how to navigate through. It seems a little challenging right now out there in Houston, and so we want to make sure we're navigating through that properly. Got the right people in place, got the right level of overhead in place to match our revenue, and then really go out and see what opportunities we can create and what kind of new opportunities we can bring into the fold. So that's what we're going to be focused on, and really a little bit more diligently on different areas of transportation that maybe we haven't done in the past.
Yep, and by the way, although hazmat's becoming a big focus, you can do what area of transportation? Kind of give a panoramic overview as we wrap it up. Okay,
thank you for that. So what we do is we're broad. We have a broad diversification of freight that we haul. We haul for electrical distributors, pipe, steel, flange companies, construction companies, rental companies, equipment rental companies. So we're really diverse in what we can haul, and we like it that way because it gives us some other opportunities when certain markets may be slowing down, like the oil field.
Brendan Neef, he's at victorytrucks.com. I really like Brendan. I tell you, the guy is a true business owner, a business leader, and I think actually becoming a thought leader. And we're delighted we get to pick your brain here on the program.
I love to be here. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You do a great job. You really do. All right, when we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. Great audio, video, and more. Also, don't forget, Sunday on Price of Business TV on the Biz TV network, my interview with U.S. Senator Rand Paul, his last interview before the Iowa caucuses. Make sure you check that out Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 here in our market. Stay tuned for more right after this.